What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. My name is Rock Soldier, and today we're going to be doing another head-to-head video where we compare two rogues from Rogue Company. We're going to be doing Kestrel versus Ronin, where we go over their abilities, their passive, their loadouts, and their perks, and then we give you some clips to show you their potential in game. I'm super excited to bring you guys this video, man. We're just going to hop right into this one, and I appreciate you guys. Let's get it. Alright, so looking at both their abilities, Kestrel's ability is called Halo Drones, and basically what it does is it takes 6 drones, shoots them one at a time, and they do 60 damage per second. Now, it sounds a little overpowered to begin with, right? But not exactly. There is a huge learning curve to it, because how it works is the drones shoot exactly where the reticle on the middle of your screen goes, and they all go to that one spot. So as soon as you hit the button to activate your ability, that's where they're going. And the learning curve is that it's just tough to use and tough to get used to, right? I guarantee you, if you've never played Kestrel before, the first couple times you use her, you probably will kill yourself. The bonus side is that she has a great time to shoot afterwards. So from the time that you push the button to the time you're able to shoot your weapon again is super quick. Ronin's ability is called Ballistic Knife. She has an explosive throwing knife that attaches to surfaces and detonates when enemies are nearby. And it can also be used as a melee. So it does 250 damage when you throw it at somebody and directly hit them. And that'll kill any rogue in the game. Nobody's stopping that whatsoever, no matter what perk or who it is, they're dead. When you throw it onto a surface and you kind of use it as like a way to block off an entrance or an angle or something like that, it does 125 damage. And so there are rogues in the game that can live through that. Rogues with tenacity or rogues with headstrong that also have tenacity, but tenacity being the biggest counter to Ronin's knife at the moment. But it is versatile. You can use it in a lot of ways. Like I said, you can use it to post up and block off exits. A great example of that is posting it on the top of a door frame where a team is trying to enter, but they can't shoot it because it's at the top of the door frame, and then ultimately it'll get somebody if they try to. The downside to Ronin's ability is that it has a slow time to shoot afterwards, but the bonus side is that she has a perk that we'll go cover a little more later that's called Nimble Hands, that basically will make that time faster. It won't still be as fast as Kestrel's TTS, but it still will make it a little more bearable. Looking at both their passives, Kestrel's passive is called Legends Contract, and basically she gains an extra $1,000 in cash per down. The normal is 500, she gets 1,000. Right? So the plus side to that is that obviously she has more money. She's able to buy her loadout a lot quicker, which basically puts her ahead in rounds where like a lot of characters, early on may not quite have everything they need, but whereas Kestrel, she already has both the utilities and a perk and her weapon. And then also Kestrel's passive is great for Dahlia to link to, so you can have 2 characters making that money and thus being able to buy their loadouts quicker. Ronin's passive is called Underground, and basically she's undetectable on enemy radar, so she can't be seen on Talon's dart, which is a great counter against Talon. And then if you are facing a Talon and you happen to have a Ronin and Dahlia, that means 2 people can't be seen on the dart, which kind of eliminates their intel. And she also can't be seen when she's shooting. The problem with Ronin's passive is that it's kind of one-dimensional, right? It's really only good in like certain situations and whatnot. She doesn't have any like padded steps or anything like that, so it's a little one-dimensional and ultimately not the best passive in the game, in my opinion. Taking a look at their combat loadouts, in terms of weapon, Kestrel's has the Riptide, the Knight, and the P12K, and Ronin has the KA30, the SLC, and the Spitfire. Now, I actually have a head-to-head video where I compare the Riptide and the KA30. It was actually the first one I ever did. That'll be at the top of your screen if you guys are interested in checking that out, where we go over their TTK and some of their other stats to see which gun truly does it best. So overall, in my opinion, I'd say they're both very close, and in my opinion, and honestly, I'm kind of more of a fan of the Riptide, especially once you get those upgrades. I just like it better. Maybe I just used it more, but that's just me personally. With the Knight versus the SLC, recently, since I made the last head-to-head video, the Knight was very dominant with the TTK changes they had made, but recently, since then, they have reverted it back to the old way. So for this reasoning, the SLC takes the edge, in my opinion, is the better gun, and kind of, you kind of have a double-edged sword there with Ronin, because you can use the KA30 or the SLC, and they're both really, really good guns. As for the P12K versus the Spitfire, they're both very, very good guns. I mean, the Spitfire is unmatched and up close, in my opinion, in terms of pistols, but recently the P12K did get an extra bullet in its mag. It was sitting at 8 and now it's at 9, which I think was a good change, because I think that was the problem with the gun, is that you just ran out of ammo too quickly. The plus side of that is that it is silenced, which is great for a character like Kestrel, who has padded steps and is able to be a little sneaky. Overall, in my opinion, I'd probably give the Spitfire the edge as the more versatile pistol. In terms of utility, Kestrel has the Kukri, she has the Bounce Nade and the Adrenaline Shot. Ronin has the Katana, the frag grenade, and the smoke grenade. Now, as for the kukri versus the katana, that's a tough call because the kukri is the fastest melee in the game. It's small and lightweight, but at the same time, the katana first upgrade, you can upgrade that thing from 100 damage to 125, whereas for the kukri, you have to get both upgrades in order to do 125 damage. So with the katana, you know, having to spend a little less money, I would give that the edge because the upgrades are a little pricey, but I think I'm going to give the katana the edge despite the kukri's speed. As for the bounce grenade versus the frag grenade, honestly, this is a little tough one because I think they're both really good in their own right. You know, I think, you know, both are very, very good. The downside to the bounce grenade compared to the frag grenade is that the bounce grenade does only do up to 125 damage, whereas the frag grenade does 150 damage. Personally, in my experience in Rogue, I've used a lot more bounce grenades than frag grenades, and I think they're just really fun to play with, so I'm going to give the edge to the bounce grenades. As for the adrenaline shot versus the smoke grenades, they're two very different tactical utilities here. The adrenaline shot does absolutely nothing for your team. You can't throw it to bait out a trophy. It doesn't do anything. All it does is makes you move faster and heals you, which can be really good for Kestrel because she is kind of, you know, a solo player and, you know, there to make plays and win gunfights. Smoke grenade, on the other hand, though, is also very good in my opinion because it's versatile. You can use it to get out of a situation, you can use it to initiate a situation, and so for those reasons, you know, with the smoke being versatile and the adrenaline being a little more solo, I think I'm going to get the smoke grenade the edge. Looking at both their perk sets, Kestrel has Berserker, Padded Steps, and Ronin has Berserker as well, and Evade. Now, these are both two very different sets here, and they're very close because they both have Berserker, which I think is a pretty good perk. As for Padded Steps versus Evade, Evade is very good, especially with the buff it got. Even if you get shot at nearly, it doesn't even necessarily have to hit you. Even if you get shot at somewhere close to you, you start moving faster for a few seconds, which is really, really good. But Padded Steps is a huge thing, a part of Kestrel's kit. It makes her so versatile. Instead of just your typical rogue with some good weapons and some good utility, you know, now she's also able to be sneaky and flank, and I think it's a huge perk and probably one of the best ones in the game. As for the medium perks, Kestrel has Helping Hands and Stalker. Ronin has Nimble Hands and Tenacity. I like that Kestrel has Helping Hands because it kind of makes her a team player a little bit. You know, she can be that sneaky flank player, she can be that aggressive player, but she can also be a team player, being able to help out her teammates if they happen to go down. Stalker is also a huge perk in the game. It's very, very good, especially with Kestrel because she has Padded Steps. So she can walk, and then on top of that, she can then move faster while ADSing. So she can basically just zoom around the map without making a noise. Nimble Hands on Ronin is very good. You know, some people disagree with me about Nimble Hands being a good perk, but I think it is. Being able to increase weapon swap and reload speed is really good, especially on something like the SLC. Just make that reload super, super quick. But not only that, like I said, it does help out with the time to shoot with the Ronin knife because you're able to swap weapons faster, which, you know, your Ronin knife counts as a weapon. So that ultimately increases that, and I think it makes her ability a little more easier to use and makes it very versatile. As for Tenacity, it's also one of the best perks in the game. Ever since they rebuffed it from 30% to 40%, it's very good and pretty much necessary against all these explosives in the game. Just being able to live and not die off of a well-placed nade is really, really useful. Looking at their expensive perks, Kestrel has Replenish and Resupply. Ronin also has Replenish and Tracker Rounds. So again, a very, very close perk set here. You know, it's very interesting seeing both these rogues have two of the same perks in their set. But I will say, Replenish being on their on both of these character sets, I'm actually not the biggest fan of. I don't think you necessarily need it. You can get 40 bullets in Kestrel's gun. You can get 40 bullets in Ronin's gun. You know, I just don't think it's completely necessary. As for Resupply for Kestrel, for anybody who may not know what it is, it's kind of like Scavenger from Call of Duty. When you kill somebody, you basically run over and get your lethal and utility back. A constant like resupply, kind of keep feeding her. Now this perk I think is a good perk, but I don't think it's good in Demolition just because it's kind of singular rounded. I think you can spend your money elsewhere and make her much more viable. But as for Strikeout, even in the beginning of Strikeout, I wouldn't even buy it. But maybe like in the last round, if you've been doing good and frying out and you have the money, yeah, buy Resupply because, you know, it can be really useful, especially in a respawn game mode. Now tracker rounds, in my opinion, are really, really good. They always have been. You know, team pops of smoke, you just spray and pray through it until you find somebody. Next thing you know, they're getting beamed from the whole team because everyone can see them. They are expensive, but I think they're really, really good, and I think it fits Ronin a little better than Kestrel's expensive perks. Now that we've compared everything we possibly can about these two rogues, we're gonna hop into some clips to show you their potential in game. But first, if you guys are enjoying the video, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell to know we're dropping the next one. And if you guys enjoy watching competitive Rogue Company, we got the May $10,000 Rogue Company tournament coming up this next weekend. Me and my team are very excited. If you guys are interested in checking us out and watching us practice and prepare for the tournament coming up this weekend, link for that will be down below in the description. All right, guys, man, I appreciate you guys taking the time to check out this video. We're gonna hop into these clips. Let's get it. And this took 30 seconds. It's a lot of time to give up.
Oh, look at that. XG. All four about to be hacked. He pop up. Get their fight though.